Okay, so this is my first episode of Let's Talk About It, Type P Edition, or Type P Promote Edition. Cool name, thank you. And yeah, we're just at the pool having a conversation. And this is, I am Coach Brandon. Hi, how are you?
How you doing? How you
Make sure you
doing?
speak against the mic. If I can't hear you, I'm going to be very nice.
Okay, you can hear me. I think you can hear me.
Good.
I don't want to cover up the
It should help. I mean, I did have Libby's
so
we're going to do this. So yeah, nice to conversate with you.
nice to conversate with you.
I met you at Juan Poetry. You were an amazing poet that hopped up on the stage, so I had to follow. So I'm very honored for you to be here.
Very honored to be invited. Thank you.
Of course, sometimes it takes the right person to ask me about a podcast for me to respond.
Let's do it. Why not?
Because why not? It's a nice day outside in Texas. It's not raining.
It looked like it's about to. But,
Right. So we're going to make this quick. Okay. Anyways, so I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm sure if we've talked about this. And I went to a predominantly white school, but you've said you've had different experiences. And I would love to hear about your experiences going to an HBCU.
Going to HBCU, we have fun. So basically going there because of HBCU and it's a lot of odds against us. The professors and the president of the university, they prioritize academics, make sure we get our work done. The coaches there, all of the mentors that are in the university, they make sure they're very strict with us about getting our academics completed because we have a lot against us.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. What about culturally? What was it like?
Culturally, I mean, it was fun. You're amongst people that are like you.
Right.
So it's a lot of people that look like you, that like the same things you like, or have similar views as you.
Right.
So, and earlier we was talking about the election.
Right.
Because when I was in school, when I was a freshman.
Which election?
The election with Obama and Mitt Romney, 2012.
Right.
So, yeah, as we was talking about earlier before the podcast and stuff, I was in school, I was a freshman whenever the 2012 election was on.
Okay.
And the way that it felt when election night was happening, when it was the night that we was able to see who was president.
Right.
It was me and my roommate. We're in our room with the room door open in our dorm room. At Houston Tilson University. Shout out Houston Tilson. In Austin, Texas. But we in our room, we got our roommates and people in our dorm area coming in, seeing what's going on. We got the election on TV,
right.
And everybody, scared at first because if Mitt Romney wins,
right.
We don't get tuition no more. Well, not tuition, but financial aid. It's going to affect financial aid, and a lot of us have to go home. For a lot of us, financial aid is a reason why we're in school,
right?
Because without that, we wouldn't be able to afford it.
True.
Yeah, so the energy was thick in the room, but once we seen Obama, Obama was on top. Everybody was turned up, everybody was happy. The whole dorm room was loud. Guys running through the hall. Sorry,
it's a cultural conversation, so negative.
But yeah, people running through the halls, turned up.
Right.
Obama won. We said turned up back then. That was our slang.
People still say turned up.
Yeah. So that was a very good experience for me. I really enjoyed my time in college there. HBCUs is great. I encourage you to go there. It's nothing wrong with it. The education is A1. The education is really good. Professors are good. They really take their time. I really promote HBCUs.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm glad you said that and promoted them in that beautiful light of being.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
And then having that experience of being at an HBCU during Obama's presidency.
Yeah.
I will forever be jealous of that. What a time that must have been had in the second term. But bringing it into the now, what we're doing now, it's really sad to see that. And we're going backwards.
Yeah.
There are going to be people losing their Pell Grants. They won't be able to go to school, and those kids that want to go to an HBCU might not get to.
Yeah.
Somber,
sad,
I know.
Sad to hear that.
So protecting Black in school? Was that a big thing? Good push for you guys?
Oh yeah,
Because, in college, we're also very nervous
oh yeah,
about parties and stuff. You're one of those safe types, right?
yeah. So I went to schools where if you put a hand on a woman, a guy will get beat up for that. Like it'll be
Awesome.
5 guys that'll come and jump for that stuff. You don't hit a woman that's not tolerated. Because you're bigger. Most of the time, you're bigger. You're more aggressive than them.
Right.
So and I personally, I hate that. I don't want to see any of that, and I will stick up for a woman, a black woman especially. But
Right.
if I was to ever see any of that,
Makes sense.
because that just it makes me feel like a type of way in my stomach. I just can't stomach that feeling.
Right.
It's sad to me.
So with everything going on with Black women currently, still being one of the most disrespected in the world, and then on top of that, we just lost a big election. How are you currently taking care of Black women?
I mean, around me, I don't allow anything to be any disrespect to be said about black women. I grew up a mama's boy. Mom's black
Okay.
and all that, so I grew up very overprotective with her, and that kind of molded me to how I treat women now.
Right.
So I don't like
So you can't leave your drinks around him. Good guy.
Oh yeah, you can. I'll protect it. None of that drug and stuff. None of that.
Never that.
None
Never
of
that.
that.
Like,
But
gotta be-
around me, when you're hanging out with me or when a woman is with me, you will really feel protected because I'm not going to let anything happen to you.
Right.
Because, like I said, I don't want to see that. But for one, you're with me,
Right.
so that's a no go. I'm going to make sure you're good if you're hanging out with me. So anybody,
What a good friend to have.
Yeah, I'll protect you for sure. You're hanging out with me. I'm not going to let anything happen. And, the whole thing about like with respect and all that, the way I carry myself,
Right.
I expect for, if I was to interact with another person, for them to, interact with me in the same manner I interact with them.
Of course.
People can kind of read that off me, I guess. So, I don't really get any disrespect from people,
Right.
Which is great. I hope
Don't
that,
need it.
that never happens.
Mhm.
But yeah, like the way I respect you is the way I expect other people to respect you around me.
But about back to Obama, what did it feel like to be a black family in America and having Obama?
It felt great. I was able to, feel free, like actually free, like not scared to really do stuff in the streets. Like nowadays, there's a lot of mandates and a lot of bills being put into place
Right.
that's kind of taking away that sense of freedom. But but when Obama was in presidency, I I mean, you could say this is biased, but I just felt more safe. I felt more like fair. Like if anything was to happen, it'll be more of a fair chance, to get out of it.
That makes a lot of sense. It's a very deep question to ask, I guess, for us
Yeah.
black people. Because now, with Kamala, we were hoping to get a sense of like safety net again.
Yeah.
And I fear that we didn't get that. And she had a program for black women with a maternal death rate.
Yeah.
And so that was something that her and Joe Biden put together in 2021. And so now that's probably something they're just going to go away with. That's why we think about the death rate of black women in America. So as a man, what do you think that men should know about that time frame for black women while pregnant to have a child?
Since I have a child, that's a very important time frame. I say, I say for one, your personal view for what you want to do with yourself matters the most because you have to live with your choices.
Yeah.
See, so it's really unfair for anybody else to have any type of say on what you do with yourself.
Right.
Just because they're going off of how they feel
Right.
or what they would do.
Right.
It's not their life.
It's fine.
So
I get an abortion, by the way. That's not going to go in the bloopers because I'm being myself, but they call it murder, and I'm okay with that because I don't need it. I don't. And it's okay for us to say that with this current climate and politics. I mean, we're already broke. Like we can't just be trying to make more. Like it's not even about being broke. We have a broken country. Our spirits are broken. So many things are being dismantled.
Yeah.
There's no safe place for us to be brainwashed with the world.
Things is getting crazier and crazier as time goes.
As you can see, but we try to do things like this to stay positive and have real conversations. So you're a poet. Can you tell me what's some of your upcoming shows?
Well, so I just recently did a show called Poetry Pornography.
Oh,
Yeah, it's hosted by Black Swan Productions.
I think I was there.
Yes. So I was the feature for that one. That was a
Congratulations.
great show. Thank you.
Great show.
Thank you. It was one of my first real features that I was able to do. So I thank them for the opportunity. But next up, I have what's called Magic Mike.
Right.
And that's a all-male erotic show.
Okay.
It's not an open mic, so it's a closed show. And it's basically for ladies. So if you out with your girl, or you need something to do in Houston,
that's where you're gonna go.
Yes, man.
You're gonna see people that look like him do the things that they do.
Yes. You know, the lineup is fire. It's me, Coach Brandon,
Right.
Coach Brandon,
That's Coach Brandon.
Anno, the poet, LJ Hamilton,
Right.
Versatile, and a lot of other people.
Versatile's gonna be there?
Yeah, Versatile's gonna be
I
there.
like Versatile.
Yeah, I was happy when he
That's
actually
good.
confirmed it. I was happy when he confirmed it.
Exciting.
So yeah,
A little something different.
he's really cool. Yeah, it's
Good
a little
dude.
mix.
I love that.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect.
when did you start writing?
So I started writing when I was in high school. I started writing in ninth grade. It was part of a science project. I had to write a rap about Newton, one of Newton's laws. And we had to get in the group. Me and two other people had to get in the group, and we decided to make the rap.
Oh,
And that's when I first started rhyming words together in a rap, so to say.
cool.
Yeah. So I started off rapping.
So, do you have any of those poems?
No,
Damn it.
I
Damn.
don't.
Wouldn't we love to hear them?
I don't know if I was shown.
What? Not
Those are great.
Newton poem sounds cool to hear. Was it good?
I'm pretty sure people would love to hear it.
Exactly. You're making the people not get to hear this. We don't like them.
Look, I done wrote a lot of different poetry books and lost them over the years.
That's devastating.
A lot of hard work.
Just gone.
Yeah, so my first poetry book I wrote was when I was in 10th grade, and I wrote a whole poetry book. I had at least 11 poems.
Now they're just gone, like the wind.
They're gone. They're just poof.
Now you need to start writing again. Poetry book.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, everything's digitized now, so I kind of have it in my phone.
But don't forget, best written is hand.
Yeah, that's true.
It is.
I have words of it.
Most men do.
I'm a lefty.
I'm a lefty too.
Okay. So you seeing right there?
No.
Oh,
But don't look at this. This is a note that I was putting on a piece of paper. I didn't think it was for everybody. But normally my handwriting is not that bad. I wanted to perfect it. I couldn't, but I wanted to.
I tried to learn how to write.
I didn't. You can't use
I wanted to be ambidextrous so bad. I'm like, yeah, I tried.
How did that
Show
work
the
out for you?
girls.
Can you? Your special powers that you're left.
I mean, I could throw a football with my right hand.
Did you play football?
I used to.
What all sports did you do?
So I played football.
Okay.
I played basketball. I ran cross country, and I ran track. Actually, I still run track.
You still run track?
Yes, I run
So wait,
track.
you're a poet and you run track.
Yes, and I'm gonna be joining cross country meets as well.
Wow, cross
Yeah.
country. Look at you doing things. I love that. And like you're like 50 years old and it's all these costumes. I had to. I needed it for some laughter.
50? No, I'm not 50.
Very active 50-year-old.
I'm 31.
31.
31.
Seriously, very active for your age.
I guess you could. No, there's a lot of active.
It was supposed to be for comedic relief. Just accept it.
Yeah. Keep going.
You just have to go with the flow. Okay. 50 really got me. It should be like 42.
50. Oh my lord.